Hi, I'm Jeff from New York. Please like and subscribe.
Episode 60, The Live Broadcast. Jeff only came back down to earth after the beautiful lady had disappeared into the bar. He recalled her face in his mind and smiled.
Lady Jimenez, is this the beautiful woman who owns the bar?
Jeff asked to himself. He walked straight over to the doorman. At the entrance, he was also watching the woman. Jeff cleared his throat and asked him about her. Indeed, as he had expected, the beautiful lady was the owner of the bar. Her name was Ariel Jimenez. Jeff went back inside. He wanted to talk to Ariel about the possibility of buying the bar. He wanted to make sure she didn't sell it to someone else. Before he had a chance to make an offer, he followed Ariel and ended up in the office area of the bar.
Is anyone here?
Jeff called out as he walked into the office. There was no one there, only a conference table and a dozen chairs. He decided that Ariel couldn't have come this way, and he turned to leave. At that moment, he heard a woman's voice calling.
Come in.
Jeff looked over and saw that there was a door on the far wall of the office. The voice was coming from the other side of that door.
Is she calling me?
Jeff looked around to check that there was no one else in the office, and then slowly walked toward the door. He gently opened it and stepped through. The moment he walked through the door, Jeff froze. His body suddenly felt supercharged. The door led to a bedroom and his sitting room suite with the dressing room at the far end. A beautiful woman was standing next to the bed with her back facing him. She was completely naked except for her bra and panties that add to the allure for Jeff. The air in the room was moist and perfumed with the flowery smell of her shower gel. The beautiful woman's hair was wet and the droplets of water on her body were reflecting the light.
Iris, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and give me the fresh towel,
said the beautiful lady as she turned around.
This lady really does have the body of a supermodel. Even better, if that's possible,
thought Jeff. His heart was hammering in his chest. He was struggling to control himself.
Aha!
The lady exclaimed when she saw Jeff. She quickly put on a robe and glared at him as she demanded.
Who are you? How much did you see?
Jeff recognized her as Ariel Jimenez, the owner of the bar and the person Jeff was looking for.
I didn't see anything.
Jeff waved his hand and tried to act cool, but the two streams of blood started flowing from his nostrils. He wiped them away awkwardly and said with a silly smile,
Sorry, I'm a bit nervous.
Get out,
Ariel said angrily.
Okay, sorry.
Jeff answered weakly and left. 5 minutes later, Ariel had dressed and she walked out of the small suite. She stared at Jeff and walked slowly toward him. Jeff could only smile awkwardly at this moment. Another beautiful lady, the manager of the Angel Bar, Iris, walked in with a towel in her hand.
Ariel, I found a fresh towel for you. Oh, sorry. I see that you're already dressed. Who's he?
He's here to apply for a job as a waiter,
Ariel said before Jeff could reply. The boy looked to be only 20 years old, so she assumed that was what he was here for. And she was too embarrassed for Iris to find out what had just happened in the suite.
A waiter? We don't need a waiter here. Sorry.
Iris said to Jeff with a smile. She and Ariel had recently been discussing they need to sell the bar, so they didn't need to recruit new waiters.
Iris, don't worry about him.
Ariel turned to Jeff. Only Jeff was able to read the meaning behind her stern gaze as she said,
You're a student, right? From now on, you'll work in our bar. Of course, we'll not take up any of your studying time. You can come over for all of your free time. I'll pay $10 an hour. Do you agree?
Actually, the reason I came was...
Before Jeff finished his sentence, Ariel interrupted.
Is $10 an hour not enough for you? Look at the clothes you're wearing. Can't you recognize a good offer when you hear one? I offered you a job as a favor. Don't you know what's good for you?
Jeff was stunned. He had assumed that Ariel was a well-mannered lady. He had never expected her to be so unreasonable. Then he thought about how he had offended her just now, and realized that she had probably jumped to some conclusions about him too.
It doesn't matter. I'll take the job here. It'll give me the chance to find out all about the Angel Bar, which will be helpful when I buy it.
With these thoughts running through his head, Jeff agreed.
Okay.
Ariel replied.
All right, you can leave now. I'll call you if I need anything. Remember to come here to work whenever you're free from classes.
Jeff nodded and walked out of the office.
Ariel, our bar is already on the market. Why are you recruiting a new waiter?
Iris asked, puzzled. Ariel answered.
Didn't you notice his clothes? He was so scruffy. Our bar is only thriving because of the students nearby. We should learn more about them so we can cater to their tastes.
She sounded serious, but Ariel was keeping the real reason hidden. She was worried that Jeff would tell everyone what had happened, and felt that if he was working for her, he wouldn't do that. Jeff felt tired as he walked toward the school. He had told Roybin and the others that he now had rented a house off campus and wouldn't be staying in the dorm very often. Tonight they had insisted that Jeff stayed with them. When he got to the dorm, he found his friends half-dressed, lying in their beds and laughing loudly. When they saw him enter the room, Roybin said excitedly, "Jeff, you have to see this. Jonah's also doing a live broadcast. We're dying of laughter watching it. If you don't believe me, ask John and Joe." Jeff looked at John and Joe, who were also lying on their beds, and then looked at the screen and laughed. Jeff washed up and then laid on the bed. He sent Lelaine a goodnight message and opened the live broadcast channel. He asked Jonah's live broadcast number and entered the live broadcast room. On the screen, Jonah was speaking passionately. Her hair was a mess and she was wearing way too much makeup. She was saying,
Everyone, thank you for watching my live broadcast show. If you want to get involved, just send me a message. Let me know what you want, and I promise to fulfill your request. Come on, everyone, send in your bids.
John said to Jeff.
Jeff, you won't believe what Jonah did just now. Someone said they wanted to watch Jonah shake her head side to side 50 times. Jonah immediately shook her head like a mad woman. After shaking her head, haha, she was so dizzy, and she fell off her chair.
Jeff frowned slightly.
Jonah is clearly hoping to use the live broadcast to earn $350,000 that she needs to pay Jake.
He thought. He glanced at the screen. The comments appearing on the screen were all mocking and ridiculing Jonah. One said,
"This girl has a great set of boobs. She can be my friend anytime."
Another said, "She could have used her looks to make a living, but she thinks she's got other talents."
Best-looking female broadcaster on the entire web,
said another. Jonah ignored the barrage of insults and innuendos.
All I need to do is make enough money to pay Jake. If I don't, he'll go crazy, and I don't know what his friends will do to me.
She thought. She had looked his friends up on the internet and knew they were capable of just about anything. The sicker, the better. She had already attracted more than 500 fans, but had only earned around $50. If it continued this slowly, she wouldn't be able to get the money she needed. "Hey, didn't Jonah dump you for Jake? Just wait. I'll punish her for you," Roybin said to Jeff and smiled.
Please don't do anything to her.
Jeff tried to stop him, but his friend was already engrossed with a live broadcast. "Don't worry," Roybin replied casually. Soon his bid appeared on the screen. Small fish, stand on the table and jump 3 times for $20. Jeff glanced at Roybin with annoyance. He was disappointed in his friend, asking a girl to jump on the table.
How dangerous is that?
He thought.
It's just not worth it.
However, Jonah accepted the dare. She said to the screen,
Small fish, I'll do as you request. Please don't forget to give me that reward later.
Jonah put down her phone, stepped down a stool and climbed onto the table. She looked at the camera and said,
Small fish, I'm going to jump.
Once, twice, 3 times.
Ah!
The 3rd time she jumped up, Jonah stepped on the corner of the table, causing it to shake as she lost her balance and fell. She cried out in fear as she fell heavily on the ground with a loud crash. Her 2 roommates quickly helped her up. Luckily she wasn't hurt. Jonah sat hunched down on a chair and said to the screen,
Small fish, I've done what you told me to do. Now you can give me my reward.
20 appeared on the screen as Roybin sent the money. Roybin snickered and proudly said to Jeff, I bet you feel better now. Jeff suddenly felt angry. He frowned slightly and said to Roybin,
Haven't you got anything better to do?
Roybin's face stiffened. Thinking about it, he realized that he had overdone it. Jeff glanced at Jonah on the screen. She was trying to swallow her pride and continue her live broadcast. He sighed softly and was about to turn it off. At that moment, several words suddenly flashed on the screen of his phone. Time for the duel. The duel was a new segment released by the broadcasting network that streamed Jonah's show. It involved two individuals, randomly matched and competing against each other for bids from the audience. The winner would receive a cash reward. The prize money that the winner would receive was shown on the screen. $100,000. That was almost the largest prize anyone had ever heard of. Jonah's eyes lit up when she saw the figure of 100,000. If she could win this amount, she could pay off almost a third of the money that she had given to Jake. This was a great opportunity for her. Then Jonah's opponent appeared. She was another beautiful student called Minnie. She already had more than 20,000 people in her live broadcast room. Looking at Jonah, her competitor, she smiled. The broadcast had started a few hours ago, and this girl only had 500 supporters in a room. Minnie knew that she had a huge advantage. She knew that surely the $100,000 prize money was hers for the taking.